Hi guys. So here I am again, and I'm going to be telling you about the abandonment issues. I was, I'm going to start with my sister and my half sister's half sister. So we're going to go ahead and call them, Lee and Sue. And, Sue is my half sister's half sister, and, Lee would be my half sister. um, so growing up, Sue was a much bigger influence on my life than Lee was, and Sue practically raised me. She passed away at the beginning of October, and her death hit me very hard. It also hit my mom pretty hard. But when I was little, I can barely remember any time that I had with my sister Lee at all. And remember, Lee's half sister, so Sue has no blood relationship to me. Sue was way more prominent in my life. Lee, after my father left, 2 years later, Lee couldn't stand my mom anymore. Like, she felt like my mom was just picking men and drugs over her all the time. And one day she got into a really bad argument with our mom. I was 7 years old at the time and she was 13. And she asked my mom if she could move in with a next door neighbor. And my mom's thinking, she told me later, was that if she said yes, that my sister would realize that all homes have their own problems and my sister would come back. And that's not what happened. So my mom gave her the green light and my sister moved out. And because I don't really know all the details, I can't give them to you, but basically I never saw my sister again. The next time I heard from my sister, I was 18 years old and in school, and I got a message from her on MySpace, which completely shocked me because I was at school and I just started bawling my eyes out. To this day, I know that she's got 4 kids. I know she still doesn't talk to my mom, even though my mom's been reaching out. I know nothing about her. So we have who I thought was my dad, and then my mom. Now my sister Lee. Shortly after she left, my mother and I moved about 30 minutes away, which weirdly enough was another state. And she was with a completely another boyfriend at the time. And during the time that we were living in this new location, she got into a huge fight with this other boyfriend and met another dude that came in out of nowhere. And I guess she took me and followed him to another completely different state. We went from the south all the way to Missouri, and within 2 days of knowing this new guy that she followed to Missouri, I asked if I could call him Dad. And Dad, he seemed perfect at the time. He was playing with me and it was fun, and I can remember wrestling with him and all kinds of stuff. And eventually my mother got pregnant again, this time with my little brother. And that was when I was 8. My little brother was born when I was 9. And we're going to go ahead and call him Sky. Okay. So I absolutely loved Sky. I would take him around everywhere like he was my baby. And then on my 11th birthday, I had stayed home from school. I was playing hooky, and we were watching, like, that Discovery show with the dinosaurs where it's telling you about how it was during Jurassic times. Well, we were watching that, and it was early in the morning, and we got a knock on the door. And what I heard from the door was, "You have 6 days to get all your stuff out." And I remember it was my birthday, so it was pretty, what? For me. So, you have 6 days to get all your stuff out of here, or we're going to throw it out on the street. You need to get out. From there, me, my mother, my dad, and Sky all moved to a hotel where we were there for, like, I think, you know how childhood perception is. I think it was like about a few months, and we eventually moved back to the state that we came from after being up there in Missouri for 6 years. At that time, I was 11, like I said. And I remember that we lived in this one trailer, and one day, a few months before my birthday, they got into a big fight, Dad and Mom, and he left. Moved in with this guy that was named Kite. And he had a romantic interest, I guess, that my dad fell in love with. So this would be abandonment number 3. Like, that my dad fell in love with, and he got remarried. And then took my little brother with him. So, during this time I had turned 12 while all this was going on, and think they got married in October, right after I turned 12. I went to visit them for Christmas that year. My dad and his new wife and my little brother for Christmas. And then, right before my birthday, like the month before my birthday, for turning 13, I went on a trip with one of my mom's friends up to a different part of the state. And she was supposed to come up and get me, and I got a call from her on the day she was supposed to get me, and I just, like, knew. And she's like, telling me, "Shy, honey," and my first thing out of my mouth was, "Well, let me guess. You're in jail, aren't you?" Her response, "No, I'm going to jail." We were actually homeless at this time, and I didn't have anybody else. So, my mom's boyfriend, another one at this time, came up and got me and drove me all the way back. I don't even remember where he where I stayed that night. I can't remember. But I do remember that I went into school the next day, and there had been a bomb threat at my school. And my homeroom teacher came up to me and said, "Why are you late? We were in the middle of a bomb threat." And I've never been the kind that can sit there and lie on my feet, like, ever. And so I spit out the truth. I told her, "I'm homeless. This and this happened. My mom just got arrested. Is there anywhere we can go?" And I honestly told her the truth. No, there's nowhere I can go. I don't have anywhere. And I ended up going into foster care that day and going to a brand new place, a new house, missing my mom, freaking out, not understanding, like, having very minimal of my stuff, and going in, like, it was traumatic. And I was lucky because I had two very wonderful female foster parents that were like just loving, and but I was a lot, and I didn't realize that because it took me until I was 32 to realize, hey, oh my gosh, I'm autistic. I didn't know that. They didn't test for women back when I was a kid, and I was already diagnosed with ADD and postpartum stress disorder. So there's, you know, that beautifulness right there. But yeah, while they were wonderful, wonderful women, I can remember making them cry, why can't you get this? And I didn't actually understand why. When I was put into foster care, they asked me, where do you want to go? Like, because I was 13, so I had the right to choose. And I just, because I knew I couldn't go back to my mom, she wasn't even out of jail yet, I was like, if there's any way possible, I want to go live with my little brother. I just want to be with somebody. Like, I want to be with my little brother. And so what they did was they placed me with my father and my little brother and his new wife before they became foster parents. Yeah, they went through the classes while I was in their care. Okay. And I'll never forget the date that I actually moved in. It was June 4th, 2004. And being put into foster care January 20th, 2004. No, yes. And so these were some of the very first. These are the beginnings of my abandonment. See, at that time, it felt like everybody, and I was told when I got put into foster care that nobody in my family, like, my mother has an estranged brother that won't talk to her because they chose completely different life choice, like aisles. Uncle, brother of my mother, chief of fire police. My mom, very troubled without the right path to take. And so this is where a lot of the early parts of my childhood came in, and my abandonment issues. And I didn't exactly forget to mention, it's just hard to fit it in because I'm trying to give you the gist of it, I guess. But from between getting to Missouri when I was 7 and moving 3 times during 1 year, when I was 8. Now, I can't get a clear story from either side, my father, my dad, or my mom. All I know is that somehow or another money was exchanged for drugs. Or, not money. My 8-year-old self was exchanged for $50 worth of cocaine. And both sides blame the other, but both sides swear that the other one knew. And so through all of this, there's just a lot of fighting. There's physical, like throwing cups. I didn't actually ever see any hitting, but I did see needles and baggies and freaking straws. And all I knew is I remember crying a lot in childhood, just begging to be normal, just normal. Why do I have to worry about this? No other kid has to worry about this. Why do I have to worry about this? I just want normal. When I grow up, I'm going to be a mom, and I'm not going to put my kids through this. I'm just going to make it normal. And deleting the drugs, I still feel like I'm failing. Like since 2020, my children have gone through so much. Not that particular area, but every other, like, I'm homeless right now. Not for lack of trying. I'm in school. I am about to have an interview at a doctor's office to be an MA on Monday, and I am working my hardest to get out of this cycle that my family has been in. Because even though I feel like I've already failed my children by having to deal with this, what I've dealt with for the last 5 years, I am not going to give up. God doesn't want me to give up. I can feel him there. And through all of this, I've just clung to him. Like, this story is so much not about me. Please understand that. This story is about God's glory in all of it. Because he has not let me fall. He has never not been there. So please understand that everything that I'm telling you isn't so I can get a stop story. This is so you guys can see the miracle that is our Father. Like, I have such a deep love for God, for Jesus. Like, he's my number one. He, again, is my only constant. And I've had people that have heard parts of my testimony and tell me, I'm so sorry. Don't be. Those of you that are watching this, please don't be sorry. I feel honored. I do. I really do. Because I've always said, even when I was younger, that God puts his strongest warriors through the toughest trials. And he does that because he knows that they're not going to fall away from him. They're going to fall towards him. They're going to reach for them. They're going to grab for him. So that he can show who he is. So he can lift you up. So he can show you just how much you can trust him. And you can. Those of you out there that are feeling lost and like life just isn't getting easier, you just haven't seen it yet, I would recommend that song. Matthew Goki that's a song that's upbeat and also has kept me like striving, going, because I believe I just haven't seen it yet. But when I get further off into this testimony, I am going to reveal how I know he's there. I know he is. There are some things that are just too on point to say otherwise, and I can feel him. So this is part 2. I'm gonna pick up from June 4th in my next one. But please, I feel this arriving. Those of you that are already followers of Christ, I know you guys probably see the signs right along with me. We're in those days. It's time. He's coming back soon. And I, in a sense, have always known that God was going to use my testimony to bring lots of people to him. Because he is bringing so many people to him. Artists, music artists. I mean, there is a revolution happening all over the world right now. He's coming back. And like I said in the first video where I was telling my testimony, this is me trying to figure out what niche it is that he's trying to get me to feel, because I know I'm supposed to be feeling it. And trust me, looking around at my life right now, I'm sitting here like really thinking to myself, having conversations with God, being like, me? I've messed up so many times in my life, me. But I feel honored. And all I really want at the end of the day, as I've told you before, is a full family that loves each other. And I also very much just want to hear when I get up there, I just want to hear him say, well done. I don't want to hear him say that I didn't know you. So I'm going to go ahead and do what I do naturally. And I'm going to be like, those of you out there that are facing a hard time, that feel like your soul is tearing and breaking, and you feel like you just can't take anymore, and are searching and asking God, where are you? I'm going to recommend some songs. Flowers. Because Flowers grow in the valley is a good one. Help is on the way, Toby Mac. Even if you don't, Mercy Me. Strong Enough, Matthew West. Out of My Hands, Jeremy Camp. Hard Fought, Hallelujah, Brandon Lake. These are my song recommendations. Like, and what I want so badly, what motivates me is a song by Santa's Real that just brought me to my knees crying. Called Lead Me. So I speak the best through music, y'all. Like I can explain what I'm in the moments. I can't always find the perfect words to articulate what I'm trying to get across to people. So a lot of the times I will use music. So when I put these out there, I'm probably going to start recommending different songs, and I hope this helps. So again, I'm going to go ahead, and I'm getting a little bit more confidence with this video thing. I really felt stupid with my first few ones. So go ahead, and I hope you guys smash that like button, hit the bell, and, you know, share with your friends. If there's somebody out there that you know that could use this to inspire them to move forward, to keep trusting, to keep seeking God, then please do that. Even if you don't resonate with any of this, if you know somebody that can, then again, share it for them so that they can find inspiration. All right, guys, that's going to be the end of this video today. And again, God bless you all. Keep your heads up. You just haven't seen it yet. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.